We'll continue on foot from here. Any closer and it will hear the ship. The target is on the top of this peak.
We will make camp. You are the leader of the war party. You have the honor of staying by the fire. This is the way.
Let's move. Let's find the kid.
I see a heat source there.
Ragnar!
I'm okay, Dad.
Thank you.
This is the way.
Come, Grogu. Bo-Katan Kryze, who have honored your house and all of Mandalore. This is the way. This is the way. You're in need of a repair. Come with me. The mythosaur belongs to all Mandalorians. I would like that. When you choose to walk the way of the Mandalore, you will see many things.
Bo-Katan Kryze was born into one of the most influential and noble families on the planet, Mandalore, the prestigious House Kryze. Her sister, Satine Kryze, would later become the Duchess of Mandalore, and a vocal pacifist who sought to steer the Mandalorian people away from their warrior past. But Bo-Katan took a very different path. While Satine championed diplomacy, Bo-Katan remained loyal to the warrior heritage that once defined their culture. This ideological divide would not only separate the sisters, but shape Bo-Katan's entire life journey through rebellion, civil war, and eventual redemption. Part 1. The Clone Wars. Shadow of the Death Watch first emerges during the time of the Clone Wars as a key lieutenant of the radical Mandalorian splinter group known as Death Watch. Led by Pre Vizsla, Death Watch sought to overthrow Satine's peaceful regime and restore Mandalore's martial legacy. Bo-Katan, fiercely proud of her warrior identity, found herself at odds with her sister's leadership and aligned with Death Watch's violent methods. However, this alliance took a dark turn when Pre Vizsla joined forces with Darth Maul and his brother, Savage Opress. Together, they formed the Shadow Collective and successfully took control of Mandalore. Pre Vizsla was soon betrayed and killed by Maul, who then claimed the Darksaber, an ancient Mandalorian weapon and symbol of leadership. This was the moment Bo-Katan realized the error of her allegiance. Though she opposed her sister's pacifism, she could not accept a foreign Sith Lord ruling Mandalore. She broke away from Maul's regime and formed the Night Owls, a loyalist resistance group committed to freeing Mandalore from Sith control. In a surprising turn of fate, Bo-Katan allied with Jedi Padawan Ahsoka Tano, who brought Republic forces to assist in what became known as the Siege of Mandalore. This brutal conflict ended with the capture of Darth Maul, but victory was short-lived. With the fall of the Republic came the rise of the Galactic Empire. Mandalore fell under Imperial occupation, and Bo-Katan refused to recognize a regime that once again imposed outside rule. The Darksaber and Civil War years passed. The Empire held Mandalore in its iron grip. Bo-Katan disappeared from the spotlight, operating in the shadows. Meanwhile, a new Mandalorian warrior emerged, Sabine Wren, a young woman from Clan Wren who fought alongside the Ghost Crew in Star Wars Rebels. Sabine would come into possession of the Darksaber, once again a key to Mandalore's future. Reluctantly, Bo-Katan accepted the Darksaber from Sabine. Though hesitant, she eventually agreed to unite the Mandalorian clans under her leadership. She declared herself Regent of Mandalore, intending to rally her people against the Empire. However, Imperial retaliation was swift and devastating. In what became known as the Night of a Thousand Tears, the Empire launched a catastrophic purge, destroying cities and slaughtering Mandalorians. Bo-Katan lost the Darksaber and fled into hiding, her dream of uniting Mandalore shattered once again, reclaiming honor. Decades later, Bo-Katan returns in The Mandalorian Season 2. Still bearing the scars of her failure, she is no longer Mandalore's regent, but a commander of a small but loyal Night Owl cell. She saves Din Djarin the Mandalorian and Grogu from a Quarren ambush, revealing herself by removing her helmet, something Din, a member of the Children of the Watch, finds deeply disturbing. This moment sparks one of the show's key philosophical debates. What does it truly mean to be a Mandalorian? For Din, the way is sacred and immutable. For Bo-Katan, it's a legacy to be honored but adapted. Despite their differences, Din agrees to help her reclaim stolen Imperial weapons, and in return, she tells him where to find Jedi Ahsoka Tano. In the Season 2 finale, Din defeats Moff Gideon in combat, unknowingly claiming the Darksaber. But Mandalorian tradition dictates that the Darksaber must be won through combat. It cannot simply be gifted. Bo-Katan is visibly shaken. Her chance to reclaim Mandalore is once again tangled in ancient custom and personal pride. The new Mandalore. While Bo-Katan does not appear directly in the Book of Boba Fett, her legacy casts a long shadow. The conflict over the Darksaber continues to grow. Din Djarin begins to understand its weight not just as a weapon, but as a symbol that determines the fate of his people. The Reckoning Season 3 brings Bo-Katan back to center stage. She's isolated, defeated, and disillusioned. Her former followers abandon her after she failed to retrieve the Darksaber. But Din, who still holds the blade, approaches her not to challenge, but to seek guidance and unity. Reluctantly, Bo-Katan joins Din on his quest to redeem himself in the living waters of Mandalore. Through this journey, Bo-Katan rediscovers the power of Mandalorian heritage. When she sees the fabled mythosaur, a creature thought to be extinct, she begins to believe that perhaps her destiny is far from over. In one of the season's most powerful arcs, Bo-Katan fights alongside Din to reclaim Mandalore from Imperial remnants led by Moff Gideon. During a pivotal moment, Din acknowledges that Bo-Katan truly earned the Darksaber. She saved him from a foe that had previously defeated him. This symbolic passing of the blade marks her restoration as the rightful leader. Bo-Katan leads the United Clans into battle in the season finale, together with Mandalorians of all backgrounds, Children of the Watch, Night Owls, and others. They defeat Gideon and reclaim their devastated homeworld. For the first time in generations, Mandalore begins to heal.